Hello, good afternoon, Glenn Beck. This is Jesse Denson. I live in a small rural town in Tennessee, and I am an inventor. I'm also a computer technician, and I work on the people's computers around town. And I've been disabled for uh, more than 15 years, since I was 21. And I spent 5 years and living in a couple of other towns that are nearby. And while I was living there, I designed a new hydrogen engine, just all steaming and ready for the hydrogen economy that was coming up. And you know, it's 2010. We're supposed to be flying around in flying cars right now. But right now, the future, and I grew up in the 80s, 2010 was supposed to be cool. Well, I'm telling you, it looks pretty lame from here. But there's some people out there, like myself, that are designing things that are very futuristic. And this is one of them right here. This is my invention. This is called a hydrogen rocket body pack. This engine is over unity. It's free energy. It requires less energy to make it run than it uses. So basically, if you had this engine, Glenn, in your I picture you as a Maserati kind of guy, but if you had this in your Maserati, you wouldn't have to stop at the gas pump. You wouldn't have to stop there. Now, you can look around on the internet for other free energy engines and devices and things, and they're out there. I'm not the only guy out here that's got a free energy over unity device that promises free power. I mean, this little baby hooked to your house, and you could be getting a healthy chunk of change back from the power company if you live in a state that buys back energy. Now, my state, it's such a mess here, they wouldn't even know what to pay me. They give you 12 cents for solar, and let me tell you, that's kind of crazy because we only pay 10 here in this area. We only pay 10 cents a kilowatt hour here. But they'll give you 12 cents a kilowatt hour if you have solar panels. They'll only give you 3 cents if you're making wind, if you're using wind power. What would they give me for this? I wonder. I'm really curious. A lot of guys like me that have beat out big oil with invention, a lot of those guys went missing. They disappeared. They died mysteriously. And believe me, I'm packing here, brother. I am. And I'm not too far. If you're near my home, believe me, I'm not too far from a pistol. That's a little redneck, I'd say, but I think it makes my point when I call other manufacturers of free energy devices that I have built, and I ask them, Glenn, I say, I've got this friend that does a Does It Work program on the news in a local city, and I'd love to show your product on their show, and they say no. I said, well, why not? Why don't you deal with the media? And they say, because we'll be killed. That's pretty harsh, man. Is big oil so inbred that it has to kill people that are a threat to their livelihood? I mean, I'm no threat to anybody's livelihood. As a matter of fact, I think that big oil's a threat to my livelihood. I want a huge house like Mr. Bush has. I'm sure his daddy, got a lot of money off all those oil well head drilling equipment that he made, I mean, they're billionaires. Fuck them. I think that people should wake up. We're not going to have oil forever. It's going to be a cold day, and it's going to be a pissy mood for people when they realize, oh, all the oil's gone. Can't make any plastics. How you gonna have diapers if you don't have plastics, man? This is overrun. Oil's overrated. We're using antiquated technology. I designed this thing in my house. This is not complex. This isn't some seriously complex device. This wasn't hard to do. This wasn't hard to do at all. I'm beating big oil with my brain, okay? And I'm disabled, and I'm kicking their ass. I'm kicking their teeth in. Where are my dollars? You're looking at a grant. This is a grant application that I supplied to the federal government. I'm going to let you know if they give me any money. I'm going to let you know if any of these people try to give me any grief. But there are some goofy people out here. And they will say some of the darndest things to dissuade people from doing anything that's free energy or over unity. They say, oh, perpetual motion. And I'm like, crap. That's everything in the universe is in perpetual motion. Wake up. It seems to be a constant. You know, it's not perpetual motion. Shit breaks. Parts break. Parts wear out. Who cares? Man, it's such an old-time debate, and they use it every time. They're so lame. You know, they're so lame. They are so lame. They're the lamest of the lame. This place is running on a turd Pinto motor when we could suit this place up and have so much wonderful stuff out there for people. We don't need people sitting in gas stations all day long. We need people designing cures for cancer and other diseases. We need to survive as a race. We don't need crap about where am I going to get $5 to take my baby to the doctor because I can't afford gas in my car. I mean, this is the kind of economy I live in. I've never seen so many toothless people in my life than live in the city that I live in right here. They have poor dental health. Why can these people not have a place to live? They're stacked in here inside of government housing projects in a little town in the middle of nowhere. This is retarded. Why can't these people have some of this land? There's land stretching out all directions around me. There's plenty of room for houses and for pools and swimming pools and centers for kids and stuff. You know, it's everywhere. And these people, they don't even have a tooth in their head. You know? They don't. They don't have a tooth in their head, Glenn. Nothing. They live with nothing. They have no future ahead of them. Nothing bright. They have brains, you know. They have souls. They have spirits. They have emotions. These are people, you know. You're the people guy. You're always kind of pushing for the people and do they care? And I think you ought to care, man. I think you ought to care that this is going on. I think you ought to care that big industry will murder for profits. Literally murder. I'm telling you, man, my friends over at this other free energy company are scared to death. They won't go on TV. They keep a low profile. Their offices have been broken into so many times. And God help you, if you try to break in here, I will flat out blow your brains out. But, you know, they're breaking into their offices. And they're scared. They'll get killed. And I wonder how I should be, you know. Probably not the greatest profession to go into for a paranoid schizophrenic. Anyway, have fun with your day, buddy. I like your show. Talk to you soon.